Good morning. It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? What's up, fam? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We made it. Another week. My goodness. It's been nice celebrating Christmas every single day. Yesterday, I was kind of sad. Man, no 5-star commitment. Man, I'm spoiled. And I know you are too. I appreciate you guys joining me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We're going to talk about the elite recruiting class, talk about a couple targets. I have a graphic coming up. I'm going to ask you about some sleepers from just this graphic, kind of like a surprise player, if you will. I got 4 players listed. My show, my rules. Oh, man. So look, today we will spin the pinwheel, okay? And then I'm going to be live again at 11 because EA Sports College Football 26, it drops in literally like 55 minutes. So we're going to do the show as we always do. Then we'll go downstairs and set up and go live as the game is being released today. So you'll see me on the sticks. I'm going to get everything set up, and then I'll play Florida State today. And I'll probably play, who's the second game? Louisiana Monroe? So we'll see what we got on the sticks today. And I was able to play 3 dynasties in the last one. So that shows you how many times I play. I don't play a lot. And I went to 2 natties, and I think I missed the playoffs one year too. And I lost in each natty, so I don't want that to become a thing. All right, so that's coming up at 11. All right, so the show at 10 now, here with me. Then at 11, streaming the game. I'll probably play like 2 games today. I got to eat some lunch. So you guys might be kicking it with Hendo today. All right, you got Ryan Williams. I'll be playing on PlayStation 5. I play right like on the system. These are the overall ratings for Ryan, by the way. Look at this. 96 speed, 99 excited. He's only a sophomore. No, man, people were like, you got to practice. Last year, what I didn't even practice. Do you remember this last year? Everybody was so excited. I literally turned the game on and I just started playing. And I played Western Kentucky. Do you remember this? And I had to throw a Hail Mary. Every single game that I played was like, it came down to the absolute wire. It was crazy. Remember I had to throw a Hail Mary like 3 or 4 times last year? It was crazy. All right, so I want you guys to be thinking about this, okay? You don't have to answer now, but be thinking about this. This is going to be one of the themes of the show today, okay? Who's this year's sleeper or surprise out of just these 4 players listed, okay? I posted this on the Facebook channel, and everybody's like, Lazier Brooks. I know that people are so excited about Lazier Brooks. I am too. But he's not listed on the graphic just because it's just these 4 players. It doesn't mean that I don't like all the players. It's just literally out of these 4 guys who are sophomores, who do you think? So just be thinking about that. Yeah, remember that, Kalen the Boss? It was like 58 to 57 or some crazy something. And it was a Hail Mary that I threw to Ryan Williams, and everybody was mad because I don't know why this happened. But Ryan Williams on my stupid game was number 7, and he never changed it. You can't even change numbers on this game. And he was number 7 on mine, so I never heard the end of it. But so Anna, who is it? Anna or Southern Red? Oh, Anna, look, this hoodie right here, if you want like the gear, is Athlete's Thread. So I got this last year. It's tight, right? So I felt like wearing it today for the game. I think, because we've been talking so much recruiting, and someone was like, is there anything to talk about besides recruiting? I was like, yeah, recruiting is so hot. And, as we kind of turn the page to SEC Media Days, and not that recruiting is going to slow down because we're going to still talk about that today, but I think when you're looking at actual guys who could be sleepers, one of the things that stands out to me, and I know a couple of these guys are red shirts, but they're all sophomores. And I think this is something that you're going to find as a theme is this team, they're relatively young. It's kind of a nice blend because they have experience, but they still are youthful, right? I mean, a redshirt sophomore they've been here for 3 seasons, right? I mean, if you want to go left to right, I mean, I don't know, I'll ask you guys here in a little while to vote, but Richard Young, let's make a case for him real quick. I mean, he's the number 2 running back right now behind Jam Miller. I think he brings a great blend of power, speed. I think he's absolutely very versatile. I think he's like a big, imposing back that we want. And I think Ryan Grubb is super excited to have him. Rico Scott is a name that people don't know about. This guy is a monster, okay? So the Alabama wide receivers are elite. Is Rico Scott the first guy to run out on the field? No, that is not a diss on him. That is not that's just how good Alabama football is. But he's going to be in the rotation this year. Rico Scott is super talented, and I think you could see Rico Scott all over the field. He's can line him up on the boundary, inside at the slot. For me, I don't even know if Quay Rusa, if putting him as a sleeper or a surprise is really even fair, because I think he's dominant already. I think, this guy should be a household name already. This guy's, he's so talented. And then, I'm really curious about Red Morgan, because I think when you look to Alabama's team overall, we know who's starting for the most part, or at least who will initially be the starters. But at the Husky position, I don't know. What, Deshaun Jones, maybe? Cam Calhoun, maybe? Maybe Red Morgan. Red Morgan looked pretty good to me at this 8-day practice or whatever. So, I don't know. But I'll ask you guys to vote. So maybe be thinking about that as we go forward. I saw someone posted Olas Allen, and is that who you meant? As a sleeper or a surprise? That's interesting. Today's raffle, if you want to get in, we're going to spin the pinwheel here in a little while. $5 up to 3 opportunities to get into the pinwheel. We got a lot of people in. Bama_YouTube and Cash App Bama YouTube. If you guys want to get in, if you just want the gear, any of the gear that you see, I get it from Athletes Thread or from Team Fanatics. Of course, there's many different places to get, gear at, but those are the places that I go with. Let's see what Jeff Stapleton has to say real quick. Jeff Stapleton's been a long-time user. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, brother. Bama's D has to stop the middle of the field pass, and our SEC has to stop the big throws down the field. Yeah, and when I talk about the Alabama defense, it's really nice to think about the experience that comes back within the secondary, right? Damani Jackson at corner, Xavier Brown at corner, Keon Tabb at safety, Bray Hubbard at safety, right? And then depending on who starts at Husky, you have so much experience coming back, a wealth of experience, right? Fromm, what's up? Yeah, and Fromm, I'm on that same boat. In fact, I'm curious when I turn on this game here in 45 minutes, what the special teams is going to look like in terms of kicking and punting, because you don't have James Burnup, right? You don't have Graham Nicholson at kicker. I kind of thought that Graham Nicholson was, man, I don't like to throw shade at anybody, but I don't know. I'm still, one of the things I'm still mad about in kind of life, like low-key, is that Graham Nicholson beat out Will Reichert for the Lou Groza Award. I thought Will Reichert was better than Graham Nicholson. That's just being honest. I don't know. He was pretty good, but I don't think he was like the best kicker that Alabama's had. I thought he was like serviceable. Sonic, sponsor of this next segment coming up, right? America's favorite drive-in, West Memphis, Arkansas. We're in Arkansas where I-55 and I-40 hit. Cruise on through. Yeah, CJ, I think you're right, bro. That's another name, can't wait to see on the field. I think that I could have probably put him as a surprise player, but I think the anticipation of him being back, people are so excited to see the comeback story of this kid. I know I am. We're so grateful because the injury that he had was pretty significant to his leg, and now he's balling out. Yeah, Roll Tide props, man. I don't know if you missed it, man, but I'm gonna be on the sticks at 11, playing the new game right on the channel. So I'm gonna see Daniel. There you go, man. We're gonna get Daniel to become a fan of Sonic by this is over. What about the drinks, man? The recharge with Red Bull. This is just a graphic real quick. So let's vote on this real quick now that you've had a few minutes to think about it. So out of the players listed, who do you think will be this year's surprise player of just these players listed? Just these players. And we'll probably add, 4 more, tomorrow or the next show or, with a different title. But type let's see. For Richard Young, type R. For Rico Scott, type S. For Quay Rusaw, type in Q, and for Red Morgan, type in R. Or that'd be 2 R's. Type in M, right? 3 guys with R's. So for Richard Young, type in R. For Rico Scott, type in S. For Quay Russo, type in Q. And for Red Morgan, type in M. In terms of surprise player, I think out of these guys, I'm probably going to go with... This is actually a little bit tougher for me. I'm not going to go with Quay Rusaw because I already know what he brings to the table. So I'm not going to vote for Quay, because I already know, man, the dude's gonna be a monster. You know what? For me, and I kind of already feel out, and know what's coming with Richard Young. So it's kind of between Rico Scott, Red Morgan for me. I think based on how Alabama's wide receivers are going to be utilized, I think Rico's going to get fed, but I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are fed. So I'm going to go with Red Morgan, actually. Red Morgan as our surprise. And I don't know, when he'll come into his own. But, man, the times that I've seen him, I've been pretty impressed with Red Morgan. And look, he got baptized last year. He did. He got cooked just as all freshmen did. But I think because there's competition, I think he'll be okay. And you're good, man, because you got Cam Calhoun, you got Deshaun Jones. And I know, yeah, I love Rico Scott for sure, 100%. But I'm going to go with kind of the underdog today. Yeah, I'm going to go with the underdog, kind of a dark horse in the mix. I'm going to go with Red Morgan. We'll see how it turns out. The crazy thing is all these guys are sophomores, right? As we turn the page to recruiting, oh, Timothy's asking if Red is related to Sedarian. No, then no relation. Same thing with Brian Williams and Ryan Williams. I started thinking about what is working, right, under Coach Kalen DeBoer. And I came up with a couple different things, right? Yeah, me too, Southern Red. I kind of because he's not really a surprise player. You're right. See, Southern Red, that means you're dialed in, right? You got the team under a microscope. But kind of we're talking recruiting right now, and I think I came up with these points. What is working for Coach Kalen DeBoer in his organization, right? Recruits are building relationships, and as you've been reading your recruiting stories, whether it's 247 or on 3, I keep seeing that word relationships. Making sure that the relationships are created from when the initial contact point through the recruiting process, and then ultimately taking it up from relationship to commitment. I saw that with Sedarian Morgan. I saw that with Jariah Edwards. A lot of these guys continue to mention relationships, not only with the head coach, with Courtney Morgan, but specifically with the position coach. I mean, for example, Xavier Griffin, 5-star linebacker, his mother came out and said the relationship that they built with Christian Robinson, right, who works with the outside linebackers, said that was a big catalyst to why they eventually committed to Alabama. So relationships, key. They've been doing a hell of a job. And as I've mentioned, going to my next point, the coaching staff is very young and they're very relatable. Very relatable. All the guys, look, Coach Kapilovic, I think, is the older guy in the room as an offensive line. But think about it. I mean, Nick Sheridan, quarterback's coach, he's young. Ryan Grubb, he's young. People want to play for him. You look to Robert Gillespie. He's very young, very relatable. He's been turning out running backs for a while now. You look to tight end coach Brian Ellis. He's very young as well. Jamarcus Shepard, wide receiver coach. He's very young as well. See what I'm saying? The defense is the same thing. Kane Womack. He's a younger guy. Oh, you know what? Chuck Morrell's probably a little bit older too. Can someone do some detail on how old is Chuck Morrell? He's the new inside linebackers coach. Christian Robinson, he's young. Mo Lindquist, he's young, right? Aaron Jones, new addition, he's young. Point is, relatable young staff. And able to sell Kalen DeBoer's vision. And then, you know, the guy overseeing it as well, Courtney Morgan, very relatable. A lot of these in-state guys, you know, they grew up Alabama fans already. So, you know what's amazing is the fact that this is a very good sign. Let me try to explain this correctly, okay? These young guys, let's take Xavier Crowell, for example. He said he grew up an Alabama football fan. He understands, and he's seen, just as we have, right, over the last decade, what it takes to win a national championship. The Bama standard, how Alabama puts fear in people, right? And so for a fan who grew up a fan, a young cat who grew up a fan, to still commit to Alabama, he's saying that he still believes that Coach Kalen DeBoer could take them to where they want to go. You see what I'm saying? I think that's a very good sign, getting in-state guys that grew up Alabama football fans. It would be scary if those guys grew up Alabama football fans and they were committing elsewhere. That would mean that they weren't able to sell the vision and that people don't believe in Coach Kalen DeBoer. Not the case. You get Sedarian Morgan, lifelong Alabama football fan. Crowell, right? Very important. Another thing is, you know, point D. DeBoer is recruiting the Southeast very well. A lot of us, you know, we're thinking about how would he recruit the Southeast? I questioned it. You questioned it. A lot of national media questioned it. I could rattle off guys from the Southeast that he's brought on board, right? He's taking care of the in-state guys. He's went into Georgia. He's got 2 5-stars from each of the state. He's went to Mississippi. He's got a very talented defensive lineman. He's gone to Nashville. He's gone to Florida, right? I mean, to my knowledge, all those states that I just mentioned are in the Southeast. And then I think the final point, and hopefully this kind of spills over into Tank Jones, right? And hopefully he commits to Alabama as well. But at the end of the day, look, you want to be on the best team. You want to be on the team that is loaded. You want to be on a team where you have to fight to be able to start, because that means there's competition. You want to be on a team that has other guys that can win a national championship, and plain and simple, and it's always been like that since I've covered the team, Savages want to play with Savages. When I think Alabama football, I think, in some of the things that I've heard in the past, is that the practices are harder than the games because you're going up against future first-round guys. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. You could commit and go out to Sac State, right? You could commit and go to like a Texas Tech and get paid, you know, 5.1 over 3 years. But let's face it, the overall quality of the overall player is not the same as it is at Alabama football. So if you can stay patient and you can wait your turn and you can fight entitlement and you can battle out every single day against the best, when you get your shot, you're going to be that much far ahead to be able to really ball out, right? Savages want to play with Savages. I mean, think about some of the matchups that you currently have. I mean, I saw during the springtime, I saw Dejon Lee, who just got here as a freshman, battling against Ryan Williams. I did. I saw Bray Hubbard battling against Lazier Brooks, who just got here. Iron sharpens iron, period. Savages want to play with Savages, right? And it's always important, and this is, you know, I won't go off and start preaching because I got to play this video game here in a little while, but, you know, if I have to tell, you know, my kids anything, if I have to tell people anything that I've learned, surround yourself around people that you want to be like, right? And I can tell you a lot about yourself by who you're hanging out with and by what you're doing, right? You want to be around people that are successful, that are working. You don't want to be around people that are dragging you down, that are lazy. And that goes for not only football, but that goes for life. period. You got to look at the room sometimes that you're in, and you got to be able to separate yourself and be like, look, I might not be a starter right here, but this is what it's going to take. It's going to take me battling against a 5-star to get me where I want to go, right? I saw somebody asking, I'll turn to my next segment in just a minute. I'm going to go over the class. But, yeah, you guys asking about SEC Media Day. So real quick before I get into the weeds talking about recruiting, heads on a swivel because next week we have SEC Media Days, right? So this year it'll be in Atlanta, and it starts on the 14th, which is Monday, and you'll have LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt on Monday. On Tuesday, you'll have Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. And then on Wednesday, you'll have Alabama, Florida, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. So Alabama will be on the 16th at SEC Media Days, 17th, Arkansas, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and A&M. And I would imagine, let me ask you this real quick. Who do you think that Alabama brings to Media Day? Because they usually just bring 3 players, right? Usually 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and 1 on offense, 1 on defense, whatever. Who do you think they'll bring to SEC Media Days this year? I think if I had to guess, I haven't thought about this long, but for SEC Media Days next year, I would imagine that they're going to bring Deontay Lawson. Let me see. They'll bring Ryan Williams and Caden Proctor. I don't think they'll bring Ty, for whatever reason, I don't think they'll bring Ty Simpson. They didn't have him give a lot of interviews during the springtime. So I'm thinking Caden Proctor, Ryan Williams, and Deontay Lawson. Deontay Lawson 100%, Ryan Williams 100%. I would love to see Ty Simpson. I think he's ready. I think he's already a great ambassador. Maybe it will. Maybe it'd be Ryan Williams, Ty Simpson, and Deontay Lawson. Ooh, I like that, Eric D, but I 100%. Eric D says Damani Jackson, Deontay Lawson, Ty Simpson. But Ryan Williams, 1,000,000%. Ryan Williams is the biggest thing at Alabama, period. Come on. He's the biggest thing in college football. And the amazing thing is, as talented as Jeremiah Smith is, Ryan Williams has a much bigger reach because of the job that Alabama's football's done. There was Nick Saban, and now there's Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is at the top, period. That's just, those are facts. He's entertaining. He has a smile. He's articulate. He's funny. So we'll see. We look at the recruiting rankings right now, and you see that Alabama's 5th. I looked at this yesterday, so maybe some of the rankings have moved, but this is updated as of Sunday. You have Alabama currently in 5th with 19 total commitments. They have 5 5-stars, and this is something, yesterday, I think it was Jarvis who asked me. And Jarvis asked me, I think it was Jarvis. He's like, if Alabama makes a run and, they get 1 more 5-star, or they get 2 more, whatever, 1 more, right? And they have 6 5-stars, and they add on some more 4-stars. Is there a shot that they get to number 1? And I don't know. I think you could read up on the recruiting rankings and kind of the formula. But damn, if they already have 5 now, and all these schools have 1 5-star, then it doesn't look like they're going to get the number 1 spot. Which is whatever. But that's weird. Can you imagine if they get 6 5-star? Imagine if they get Tank Jones. Let's just say, I don't even think that Tank Jones has a commitment date. Let's just theoretically say that Tank Jones jumps on board and they have 6 5-stars. Does that move Alabama to 3? And then all these other programs has 1 5-star? I don't know. I've never really worried about the rankings. But, let's call it what it is. Damn, even on 247, I think they have 4 5-stars, right? Notre Dame doesn't even have 1. So they're putting a lot of weight right here on these 4-stars and the quantity, right? So we'll see how it shakes out. But anyways, they're number 5 in the country, which is hella impressive. Let's talk about a couple targets to know as we go forward. I'm going to highlight the overall class, and then we'll spin the pinwheel here in about 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm going to end the stream and then pop back on as we stream the new college football game right here on the YouTube channel. I'm going to set things up, and then I'll play Florida State in probably the second game. We'll see how it goes. And if you haven't watched me play before, I'm not like some professional streamer. So go easy on me. Give me grace. Every game that I play is like, I promise you, it's exciting. Every game I play goes down to the absolute wire. It's crazy. All right, so targets to know. Tank Jones, I don't think we have a definitive date when this young man is going to commit. He's over on here on the left, 6'3", 250 pounds. He'd be a crown jewel for really any program in the country, down to Oregon and Texas A&M and Alabama. All right, I mean, it would be such a wonderful addition. And one of the things that I think back to Tank Jones' recruitment is that when the recruiting window first opened for the class of 2026, Coach Kalen DeBoer was immediately down. That was the first prospect that he saw was Tank Jones. The very, very first guy. I remember they were down there. You remember this? If you get him, I mean, my goodness. Absolutely my goodness. Hey, Javon, it comes out in like 30 minutes, bro, if you got the pre-order one. Other prospects to know, you got Taden Kahawa out of Utah. He's a 3-star quarterback, 6'6", 235 pounds. As you know, this staff wants guys like 6'5" and above, period, right? This staff loves them some tall dudes. Wilson Zaire, he has an offer from Alabama, offensive tackle. He's a 4-star. I don't think I have any dates on any of these guys. And then Bear Fretwell, he's committed to Georgia Tech. He is a 3-star offensive tackle. So, it's me, Marvin, asking about how many more Alabama signs. I don't know. I don't know if there's ever like a definitive number on how many guys they want to take, like a perfect number, because in covering it, over a decade, it's like it just works out. They will shift things around. They will make sure you're here. So I don't know. You kind of look to comparatively other programs, maybe like 25 to 30. That's a safe number. So we still got a ways to go. What do we got? 19 right now? This would be cool. Yeah, got to be Fretwell. Bear. Yeah, give me Bear, right? You got to get a Bear. Please? Can we get Bear? I think it's hilarious that you get that Bryson Beaver went to Oregon. You saw that, right? Because the rival mascot is the Beavers. All right, let's take a look at this class overall and look at the commitments as they stand. So you got Jet Thamala at the quarterback position. He's a 4-star, currently committed. You knew that he was committed to Iowa State before Alabama flipped him. Alabama clearly will take 2 quarterbacks in this class. We believe it'll be Taden Kahawa. Other thing, maybe something changes. I don't know. You saw Matt Ponitowski. Remember that name? We talked about him a couple times. Did you see where he committed to? He committed yesterday to Kentucky. They were really excited. I follow KSR. They do a really good job on their YouTube channel, and they have they're part of On3, and they're just a huge organization, and they're pretty fired up about him. Matt Ponitowski, a baseball player as well, but I think Jet Thamala makes a little bit more sense for Alabama. I think anytime you go after some of these baseball guys, look, baseball, you get absolutely paid, right? I'm probably playing baseball if I have the option. The running backs, you got 2 of them on board. You got Xavier Crowell and you got Javari Barnett. So a couple things. 247 has Crowell as a 4-star. On3 has him as a 5-star. I put him as a 5-star. I think when the rankings are updated, he'll definitely be a consensus 5-star. Keep in mind that he reclassified from 2007. So he had to reclassify from 2027 to 2026. So don't worry about it. Like he's a 5-star, legitimate 5-star. Javari Barnett, the other running back in the class, 6'2", 215 pounds. That's a big dude, man. Receivers and tight ends. You have Owen Cabell, 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Nashville. He was kind of the, last 2 weeks, some of these guys that jumped on board and committed and rolled tide. And, man, this dude absolutely showed out during summer workouts. He came in during the summer camp. Everybody was floored by the amount of talent that he had. He's like a 10'7", 100 meter at 6'3", 200. People who like have never, ran track, like that guy is flying. And I saw it, man. He looked every bit of the part. You got Brian Williams in as well. I originally thought he was a 4-star, but he's a 3-star. 6'4", 190 pounds. No relation to Ryan Hollywood. Cedarian Morgan, a crown jewel in this class. Probably ready to play this year right now. 6'4", 220 pounds. When you watch Cedarian Morgan's highlight tape, they put him at the slot. They put him on the boundary. You can't stop him. He's unbelievable. And then Max Sutter, the tight end. I think he's the #1 player out of Illinois. 6'6", 230. Played all over the field. Outside linebacker, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback. Just one hell of an athlete. So, offensive line, you need more offensive linemen, as I showcase you. There's 2 targets that they're currently going after. I'm sure there's more. But currently you have Sam Utu, 6'5", 330 pounds out of California. And you have Chris Booker, 6'4", 285 pounds out of Atlanta, right? But I'd like to see, 1 or 2 guys added right here. This guy is an absolute beast. I was saying yesterday, this guy is so athletic for being 330 pounds. It is just, I saw some video. It was on X, and he was like jumping. He was doing some agility work. I was completely blown away with his athleticism. On the defensive line, recently you got Nolan Wilson in, 6'4", 258 pounds, 4-star. I think he honestly has a shot to be a 5-star when they reevaluate the rankings. Absolutely floored by his highlight tape, his burst off the field. I think he fits in that bandit position perfectly in the future. Kamarion Johnson, this is a guy who shut down. He's been all roll tide. He's an in-state guy out of Muscle Shoals, right? And then J.J. Finch, who committed, I think, on the 24th of June, 6'3", 275 pounds. But this man is a bad dude. Bad dude, man. How about these linebackers? Xavier Griffin, 5-star, right? 6'3", 205 pounds, out of Georgia. You saw what his mom said recently on social media. She said, look, we met Coach Saban, but he didn't recruit Xavier Griffin. It was Coach Kalen DeBoer's staff that recruited him, and it was Christian Robinson that was the main reason that we committed to Alabama. She was like, for all those people that saying that, Saban's behind the scenes, and I'm sure Saban is recruiting in some capacity, but come on, like, people just, I think people are just, they have a hard time seeing Coach Kalen DeBoer and his organization recruiting well. And look, someone said it inside the comment box, and I completely agree. Look, if they can use Coach Saban for some recruiting, why not? The greatest college football coach of all time. If you have resources that he's still getting paid, have him come out like he did a couple weeks ago to take some pictures. Who cares? If he can do it, then yeah, use it. Jamarian Matthews, 6'3", 250 pounds. And then this is one. I like this dude. I think because I've seen Hillcrest play. Hillcrest, I'm telling you, man, they got some guys. This young man at 6'2", 225 pounds, ran a 4.5 40 at Alabama's camp. He want to get hit by him? Someone said too that, who was it? Someone said he's 16? Or are these guys, they're 16, right? Griffin and Zahal are 16? My son's big too, man. My son's 16 and he's 205 pounds as well. Right? I like the linebackers though, but I love the secondary. Oh my goodness, look at this. So many stars. All right, so you got Jari Edwards, who just jumped on board, 5-star. And this guy's an absolute missile. This guy is gonna hit you so hard. Jordan Edmonds. Man, the corners of the future here at Alabama are like 6'3" and above. Imagine Jordan Edmonds, Dejon Lee. Look at this duo. Come on now. Come on. Zion Gibson. This guy is so good. He just gets overshadowed because look at the dogs that they brought in, man. But this guy is so good too. He's another in-state prospect out of Gadsden. And then Rael Kelly committed to Alabama. This guy is, I think Rael's like 6. Yeah, he's 6'3". You know what? I saw a photo of him. He looks taller than that. This guy looks like 6'4", 6'5". I'm not kidding you. So that's the class. 19 guys in. Clearly, we want, tank, but this is the truth, man. Like, believe in these two guys. From Bama versus Florida State. Oh my God, I know. And the problem is this game, it's going to be hard to play on the road. So that's the first game out the gate. So I'm going to play the game here in, 20 minutes or whatever. I'm going to go through it and make sure like the depth chart is good. I want to see who they have at punt returner. I'm going to put probably Jalen Mbakwe back there. Unless it gets serious, I'll put Ryan back there. I know these games are stressful. Trust me. Every game I play, it's stressful. All right, so these guys absolutely crushing it. These are the guys recruiting along with the staff. They're doing an amazing job. It's been this has been one of the better recruiting rides in a little bit. That 2-week stretch was, crazy. And clearly it's not over. They got 19 guys in, maybe 7 more guys, I would imagine, this class. But I have no idea. All right, well, let's spin some pinwheel real quick, and then you guys can catch me on my next stream as I stream NCAA football. All right, so we got a busy day, and then news as it happens, of course, and then I probably do a nightcap tonight. We'll see how it goes. So you know how it works. Now, I appreciate you guys always supporting me. If you want to support the players as well, another way to do it is go to Athletes Thread. You can get the player gear, and then you can go to Team Fanatics. I'm not sponsored by either of them. That's just where I get the gear. Specifically, this one that we're going to do next on the pinwheel. All right. So this is what we got on the pinwheel. We got a lot of people in. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We'll spin the pinwheel in just 1 second. Thank you for joining Bama Football on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember to roll Tide. I'm stupid. You know how this works. Just kidding. I'm not muted. You guys thought I was muted, huh? No, I'm not muted. All right, let's do it. All right, welcome to the Bama Pinwheel right here on Bama Football on YouTube, where we spin for Bama gear right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys, as always, being here. Thank you so much for jumping into the raffles. Bama_YouTube Cash App. If you're out there and you want to sponsor a segment, hit me up. I'll put my email inside the comment box right now. And remember that you please email me. If you win the gear, email me so I can get the gear out to you. All right? I love you. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back at 11, like in 10 minutes. I'm going to go downstairs and make a turkey sandwich and then play this video game on Bama Football on YouTube. All right? So with that said, let's spin the gear, and good luck to everybody that's up in here today. All right? Ready? 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. All right, here we go. Let's see who it is. Who's got it? Dr. Chris Harper. Dr. Chris Harper is a first-time winner. Dr. Chris Harper, hit me up, man. Dr. Chris Harper. nmpreps@gmail.com. Email me, please. Congratulations. Nice dub. Nice dub. All right, fam. I will catch you guys in like 20 minutes playing NCAA football right here on the YouTube channel. All right. You get Alabama, Florida State with Ty Simpson at quarterback. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, Dr. Chris, hit me up, man. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. Catch you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Turkey sandwich going down, getting on the sticks. Down. All right. News as it happens. Alabama football, Roll Tide, fam. I love you.